All right, good morning, traders.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to everyone on board.
Good morning, Mr. Rotimi.
Good
How was
morning, sir.
Morning. I'm sure we had a great weekend.
We thank God.
Are you
It was
too?
fine. Are you?
Yeah, thank God.
All right. Welcome to a new trading week. So let's just look at what we have from the fundamentals. Then we'll go down to the technicals and see trade setup for the week. Today is Monday, the 25th of March 2024. This analysis runs for the week, so it's from 25th down to the 29th of March 2024. So this week, it looks like the dollar has always been the king. So the dollar is still the king when it comes to news this week, because a lot of the news events is just going to be around the dollar. We have a news event today. The only news event today, is a dollar-based news, and it's coming up by 3 p.m. And that's the new home sales. It's coming up by 3 p.m. It's a medium impact event, meaning it will impact the market, but not so much. So let's watch out for that. If actual is greater than the forecast, we'll be looking at buying the dollar. And if actual is less than the forecast, we'll be looking at selling the dollar. But then we'll check if we have any technical setup to back up, that view on the USD. And tomorrow all day is dollar-based fundamental events also. That's we have the core durable good orders, S&P, CS, Composites 20, HPI yearly, the CB, Consumer Confidence, and the Richmond Manufacturing Index. All of them, tomorrow. Now, most of them are medium impact, but for medium impact, one is high impact. But nevertheless, because we have plenty medium impact, it can still be equivalent to a high impact event. So tomorrow, a dollar all day, we expect volatility on the dollar. And on Wednesday morning by 1:30 a.m. Nigerian time, there will be CPI from Australia. CPI is Consumer Price Index, and it's a volatile, fundamental, release in the FX industry. So let's watch out for this by 1:30 a.m. on Wednesday. So you might decide to stay away to trade, or you sleep and you wake up in the night to trade. We're talking about making money here. Any opportunity to make money, we should be ready to make sacrifices so that we can make that money. So 1:30 a.m. on Wednesday morning, CPI will be available for trading. And take note, CPI can be volatile, and most of the time, it actually goes in one direction. Mostly, it may not depend on technicals. So if it's going to buy, it will go buy in the bullish direction. If it's going to sell, it's already sell massively in the bullish direction. So this is I'm just giving you a heads up on what to expect, that this is actually tradable news, that if you stay awake to trade it, or you wake up in the night to trade it, there's no sacrifice that's too much to make, some extra cash. More so the kind of situation we are with the economic, policies and other things going on in Nigeria at the moment. So let's watch out for that on Wednesday morning by 1:30 a.m. And on same Wednesday, 9 a.m., we have the Spanish flash CPI from Europe. And later on Wednesday, we have 11 p.m. USD FOMC Waller speaks. Now, if you're a day trader, you are not expected to be in market by 11 p.m. So even the FOMC member speaking by 11 p.m., well, let's just take notes. If you're a swing trader, this may shake the market a little. The reason is that dollar doesn't really have news at this time. It's actually very odd. So the chances of it affecting the market is actually 50-50. It may not, because it's not really the time, the United States give any news event. If it's an event from Australia or New Zealand or Japan, yes, because 11 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., that's the time, you have more fundamental release coming from those regions, not United States. But nevertheless, let's still take caution. You never can tell, how this could affect the market. And on Thursday, we have Retail sales again from Australia, 1:30 a.m. Let's watch out for that. And on Thursday by 1:30 p.m., we have the gross domestic product, final GDP, gross domestic product from Canada, simultaneously with the final GDP quarterly from United States, unemployment claims from United States, and final GDP price index from United States. Now, these are powerful events happening simultaneously from the United States and Canada at the same time. And later, just a few, like an hour after that or less, we have the Chicago PMI from United States. And 3 p.m., we have pending home sales, revised consumer sentiment, and so on. And on that Thursday again, New Zealand and Australia will experience a bank holiday. So let's take note of that. It means for that day, we need to be careful of trading these two currency pairs. And I mean these two, the currencies of these two countries, whichever pair it comes. Anything New Zealand and AUD, it may be better to avoid them on Thursday because of the bank holiday. The reason is because if the bank goes on the holiday, the currency will not experience, there won't be transactions, and that may affect how that currency pair behaves, how that currency rather behaves in the market. Sometimes it may just be ranging, or some other times it may just experience unnecessary spike, so let's watch out for that. And same thing on Friday, Switzerland, Europe, United Kingdom, Canada, they are all having holiday. This is expected because Friday is actually going to be Good Friday. That's when we'll have the Easter period. So we don't expect much volatility from the market at that day. We may just experience some, range. Some currencies may move, but if it's me, I would just rather probably stay out of the market that day because all the banks are going on holidays. So the markets may experience some instability on such on Friday. And on Friday by 1:30 p.m. and 4:15 p.m., we have the 1:30 is we have the core price index, core PCE price index from the United States, and Fed Chair Powell is going to give a speech by 4:30 p.m. So let's take note of all these events and mark the important ones in our calendar. The important ones to me, others too could move the market, but all the ones that have to do with GDP, CPI, those ones are very, very important because they can be very volatile. They can really move the market. So let's mark them in our calendar. All right, I'll switch over now to the MT4, to MetaTrader 4. And we look at the currency pairs we have for this week from a technical angle. The analysis for last week generated about 3,040 pips, though the bulk of the pips actually came from BTC. BTC generated about 2,700 pips. So the other regular currency pairs generated just about 300 pips thereabouts. So when we give you this analysis, please always let's try to make use of it. It's not just don't just dump it somewhere. Like they always say that if you want to hide something from a black man, just put it in a book. I know some people don't bother to go through that material, but I just keep sending it in faith that some few people will use it because, to be honest, it takes a lot of time to produce that material, to put it in PDF format, to take a screenshot of all the instruments, putting all the take profit levels, all those things actually take time. It actually takes hours. It takes my weekend, but it's something I've been committed to doing since last year, I think August thereabout. So it's about 7 months I've been producing this. Now, some have made use of it and they have improved in their trading. I've seen testimonials from some, while some will still keep asking for signal. I already gave you the signal for the week. This is the signal that is generating at least an average of between 400 to 2,000 pips every other week. So some people will be like, Mr. Rotif, you are not posting signal. What about the one I've posted? I posted it on Monday. You can make use of it. Somebody chatted me up on, I think that was Saturday night. You're welcome, Mr. John. For those who have access to my phone, I posted it on my status this person made use of this analysis that I drop every week, and it was able to move his account from $108, sorry, from $84 to $105, as in he made $21 in profit. He didn't specify the number of days that it took him, but it was last week. Everything happened last week. So let's say maximum it took him 5 days, but I believe it's less than that. Now, this person made $21 using this analysis. And when I did the conversion, that amounted to about 30,000 naira. Now, 30,000 naira is no small money in the Nigeria we day to deal because at least that money will do weekend. Where did you post it? Okay, I drop it in WhatsApp. Okay, not really all the WhatsApp group though. I would say that, not really all the WhatsApp groups, some specific WhatsApp group. If you're part of those WhatsApp group, you get it. If you're not, you can reach out to me. We'll add you to it so that I can get it. It's actually for serious-minded traders. It gives you a guide. Now, whatever I'm putting in that book is the video version of it you are having now. So even if you don't have access to the PDF, please watch this video. This video is being streamed live also on my YouTube channel. So if you are there, you are not following me on YouTube, you are missing a lot because I'm giving you the expo of what will happen in the week. I tell you, all the analysis of last week, there was no single loss. Yeah, some trades did not trigger, some didn't get to entry, but the ones that triggered were all in profit, all of them. I think about 4 also did not trigger. The 6 that triggered were all profitable, And since I started this weekly outlook, we've only had 1 losing week, and that was, I think, the last week in January this year. That's the only time we had all trades lost. There's no point to lie about it. It was all lost. But before then, from day 1 till now that we started this, all has been in profit. As in, I've had, if you look at 7 months, 7 times 4, I've had about 28 weeks winning trades all through. 28 and 1 losing. So that tells you that this works. So you can really adopt this into your trading strategy and trading, arsenal, like I put it, to become a profitable trader. So if you are here to follow me, to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll put it here, Learn Forex with Rotimi Olawale. Just type that on your YouTube search bar and it will take you to my channel. Subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I drop a new video. I actually recorded about 4 videos overnight today, which I'll be dropping. I won't drop everything at a go. Definitely, things don't work that way. I will drop it 1 video at a time. Today, I think Wednesday, Friday.
Morning, welcome.
Yeah, morning, sir.
Morning.
So always check the channel. You will see a new video from me. All right, so let's go to what we have this week. Now, this week, sorry I took time trying to explain, those things I just had to say. It's important. Firstly, I'm looking at the USD CHF. I'm on a buy on Euro USD and sell on USD all in profit. Should I hold it? Hold on, sir. Just listen to this analysis first. Now, from what I can see let's look at USD CHF. USD CHF on the daily time frame, we are on a downtrend. If you look at it, even from the weekly, we are on a downtrend. Someone asked me to do a video on trend line strategy. I've done it, but that's exactly what this analysis on USD CHF is all about. It's on trend lines. So just if that person is online now, kindly pay attention, but I've made your video for you. So we are on a downtrend on the USD CHF, and the price touched the trend line the 3rd time.
Sorry, sir, we can't see your chart.
Oh, apologies. I've not switched over. Thank you. Thank you for notifying me. All right. Can you see it now?
Yes, very well. We're seeing it.
All right.
Yeah, we are seeing it, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is USD CHF on the weekly time frame. Like I said, somebody on my YouTube channel, a member of this group, requested that I do a video on trend line trading strategy, and that's what I'm showing you. It's a very simple one, which I use a lot. Now we have a downtrend on the weekly time frame on USD CHF, and last week Friday, price touched the trend line the third time. Now, whenever price touches, you only need price to touch the trend line twice to establish a trend. At the third time that price touches the trend line, we expect a bounce. It's called the 1, 2, 3 rule of trend lines. Rule 1, rule 1, 2, 3 says when price touches 1, this is 2. At the third attempt, price is expected to bounce in the original direction. This is a downtrend. So price is expected to go down at the third time. Now, when it touches it the fourth time also, we expect, a downward movement. Again, a fifth time. That's just what it's all about. So we expect a downtrend on USD CHF from what we can see on the weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, let me zoom this out big. It's very clear here that the last week Friday candle closed as a rejection candle. Not just a rejection, it's a doji. Now, if you attended the candlestick trading class, you'll know that a doji is a reversal pattern. I said when it happens on a resistance or a descending trend line, it means that price is expected to fall. Second reason why we're looking for a sell. And we can now zoom from there to the 1 hour time frame. Now, what we're doing is called the top-down analysis. So we zoom down to a 1 hour. We could have done 4 hours, but I think I'm more comfortable with the 1 hour. On the 1 hour time frame, we are having a pattern that looks not really perfect in the real sense because it looks a little bit scattered, but then it still generally can be seen like a head and a shoulder pattern where we expect price to break out downwards. Yes, it's a funny looking shoulder, I agree, but that's just what I can call it. It's still a head and shoulder. And we can take this trend line to mark this region as the neckline. So whenever price breaks below this neckline, we expect a further bearish movement on USD CHF. Currently, RSI is on 50, so we'll wait for the break. And at the point of the break, we should confirm with our RSI to be below 50, as a confirmation for a sell. Again, somebody asked me to make a video on the RSI trading strategy. I've also done that video. I'll be uploading it, how you can use the RSI effectively. There's a strategy around it, which I've also done in the video, which I will upload in the course of the week. The video I've done it, I'll just do some editing, then I'll post. And during the course of the week, you'll be able to watch it on my YouTube channel. All right, so I hold a bearish outlook on USD CHF. And that seems to be the same thing for most of the major pairs where the dollar is the base currency. Because looking at USD CAD, for example, you can see that US CAD is another currency I'm analyzing for the week. You can see that price actually hits a resistance level on the daily time frame. Resistance, and also a resistance. Last week Friday closed around that resistance level on the daily time frame. And if we zoom down to 1 hour, on 1 hour, we can draw a trend line and a second trend line here turns it to be a rising wedge. And currently I'm seeing a head and a shoulder being formed, and I expect a breakout. So you'll be looking to take a sell when price breaks out below this support, which is like the neckline. So it's not a vertical, sorry, it's not a horizontal line this time around. When price breaks through this rectangle pattern below, and your RSI is below 50, that would be a time to trigger, a sell on USD CAD. So I'm bearish biased on USD CAD. Now, USD is not part of the analysis I have for this week, but then because somebody is asking about it, I will also give you my insights on it. Now, the dollar index itself is actually the main guy we should look at if we're looking at the dollar. And for this week, the dollar index actually, hit a resistance. At least there's a valid resistance here on the daily time frame. Price closed on that resistance last week. And not only that, if we go to, I think, still the same daily time frame, you can draw a trend line right here. And we can clearly see that price touched the trend line at least in such a way that we expect a bounce. We're on the downtrend, and last week Friday closed. We have a confluence here, a resistance, and the point where the trend line also touched price. So technically, we are equally looking for a bearish movement. So from the daily time frame, we have a bearish outlook on the dollar index. So that tells us that USD/JPY, USD/CHF, and USD CAD, should be looking bearish this week. And for USD/JPY, last week Friday or so, I told us that I was expecting a double top, which should lead to a bearish break. And but then let's look more closely at 1 hour. On 1 hour, what I'm seeing at the moment looks a lot more like I can't really call it symmetrical triangle in the real sense. Let's go down to 1 hour. It's a triangle pattern. Okay, it still looks like a symmetrical. You can still take it for a symmetrical triangle. All right, so we can still take it for a symmetrical triangle. So the person asking about is on a sell trade. If you're on a sell trade is in profit, that's a good one. Just make sure you have your stop loss in place just in case things didn't go as planned. But generally on the USD, I'm actually bearish because the dollar index is bearish. So if you're on the sell trade, you can leave it. But then if you have to follow what I'm saying on USD/JPY, it actually would have been ideal if you enter a trade when there's a breakout below this pattern for a sell or above it for a buy. But if you're already on the sell, just watch your trade and put a stop loss just in case things did not go as planned. Our next instrument I'm analyzing for this week is the AED/USD. Now the AED/USD on the daily time frame, we have an uptrend there. You can say I make use of the trend line a lot. Trend line, support and resistance, they are just basic when you are doing analysis. When you look at them on the bigger time frame, it gives you a big picture of what is expected to happen. All right, for those dropping requests, just calm down. Let me get through with the things I have for the day. Then you can drop your requests. As in the specific instruments you want me to analyze. I have the one I've taken my time to go through, so that's what I'm giving you at the moment. So we have an uptrend on AED/USD on the daily time frame, and price has bounced off this trend line multiple times. And last week Friday, price still closed on that trend line. So technically, we're expecting a bullish movement on AED/USD. Now, it's normal to expect a bullish movement on AED/USD because USD CAD, USD CHF, they are all looking bearish. So AED/USD, which is negatively correlated to them, is expected to actually go bullish. So on the daily, I see a bullish movement, and I switch down to 1 hour, and all I can see here is an inverse head and shoulder pattern and a breakout in the bullish direction. So I'm bullish biased on AUD/USD. So you can make your entry when price breaks out above, the upper. This should actually be the neckline, but then that trend line, we really don't draw trend line that way as a neckline that way rather. So I would rather just advise that you make your neckline this region when price breaks above this shoulder, sorry, the tip of the shoulder right there, then we can trigger a buy on AUD/USD. So we are bullish. And if you want to use a Fibonacci, please, you can refer to the Fibonacci video on my channel also. It will show you how to make your entries on Fibonacci, how to set your take profit level. If you enter at the break of the tip here, you can run a Fibonacci through to Fibonacci 50, which can give about 25 pips, and Fibonacci 61.8, which can give about 40 pips. So 25, 40, that's about 65 pips, on this trade, all things being equal. So I'm bullish on AUD/USD. Now, all the instruments I've given so far, they are all intraday setup. I think I still have about 1 or 2 other intraday setup before we go into the swing setup, because everybody is not doing swing. So I like to make sure that my analysis is balanced for those who are doing intraday and those who are doing swing. So I have CHF, JPY, and Euro New Zealand next, which are both intraday. Intraday means it's to happen in the course of the day, and entry is on 1 hour. So I believe most of us are intraday traders. So I know there are a few swing traders in our midst. So for CHF, JPY, it's an intraday setup, and I'm equally bullish. And you can see clearly here we have an uptrend, and price has touched the trend line again multiple times. Last week price closed on the trend line, and Friday too, there was a minor, slight touch. So I expect a bullish movement on CHF JPY this week from the daily time frame. So, and if you actually take a closer look, this is looking like an inverse head and shoulder on the daily, which will also break out upwards. Second reason why we believe we should have a bullish breakout. And I flip down to 1 hour. Okay, I didn't draw the trend line properly. It's supposed to touch this place. So on 1 hour, what I can see is an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which should lead to a bullish breakout. Now, I know some people will be wondering, but the pattern is yet to be complete. Yes, I know. It's just the eyes of experience I'm using to complete it. So I believe we should have a second shoulder complete there, and we should have a bullish breakout on CHF JPY. So I'm bullish biased on CHF JPY for this week. And finally, we have Euro New Zealand. Now, Euro New Zealand on the daily time frame is equally trading around a trend line. And you can see price touching the trend line. This one is very close. There's a third touch here. And last week, Friday, price equally touched that trend line and closed around it. So if you zoom down to the 1 hour time frame, we will see that you can equally draw a trend line up there and a second one right here forming a rising wedge. So we have a downtrend on the daily. The rising wedge is a bearish reversal pattern. So if everything works out as planned, we're expecting price to break out, of this rising wedge pattern. So we have a bearish outlook again on Euro New Zealand. So I've given 5 instruments that are intraday. Then I want to go over to the swing setup. Now this is strictly for swing traders. So please, if you're not a swing trader, please don't bother about this, because this requires you to have liquidity to trade. All right, so for GBP CHF is one instrument I've been looking at since last week. It started with us having a rejection candle right here on the daily time frame. And not only that, that rejection candle is on a resistance level. Let's go to the weekly. On the weekly time frame for GBP CHF, we actually have a rejection zone. We have, a resistance zone rather, where even the last week candle, the weekly candle for last week for this currency pair, was a rejection candle. That is the whole of the week. The candle ended up as a rejection candle. So that tells us technically to expect a bearish breakout on this instrument this week. Okay, Temitope, sorry, honestly, I know there are some videos people asked, swing trading video. What really do you want me to do with the swing trading video? Is it how to do swing trading? Please be specific. You can just respond with it, by typing so that we don't distract the class. How to do swing trading. All right, I think I'll take note of that. I'll jot it down and make a video on it before the week runs out. So we have a rejection candle for last week, which should lead to a bearish breakout, this week. And I can, down to the daily, you can see we have the rejection candle still confirmed on the daily, and price already went bearish a little last Friday. So this week we expect further bearish breakout. So we can go down to 4 hour time frame Now, on the 4-hour time frame, I can draw a trend line right here, expecting price to break out below the trend line for a sell. And I can draw a second trend line. So we still have a valid rising wedge. Now, from what I'm seeing, I'm expecting price to bounce off a little before making its final, breakouts. We're supposed to actually have something that looks like a head and shoulder. Then we have that breakout. So, but either way, whether that happens or not, I'm still ultimately expecting price to break out of this pattern in the course of the week. So I'm bearish biased on GBP CHF. So if you're a swing trader, this is a trade you should not miss. When you see rejection candles around resistance levels, either on daily or weekly, it's a sure banker for a profitable trade. I can tell you that. And using Fibonacci levels, I think I'm looking at my entry at Fibonacci 38.2. I should see price should go to Fibonacci 50 at about 63 pips, 61.8 at 132, and that's 182 pips, and 78.6 at about 200 pips. So don't miss this if you're a swing trader. Just let all the conditions be right. And finally, make sure your RSI is below 0. Sometimes, if you're a conservative swing trader, then you may need to wait for your MACD to also cross, just to get a more confirmation. But it's not mandatory. Just the RSI at the point of entry is okay. But if you want to wait for MACD, it's still very okay. It just tells you, because MACD is a very powerful tool. When it changes, it means trend has completely changed. No going back. It won't go back in the bullish direction. It will just sell. That's what MACD is there for. But if you can't wait for that, even with RSI below 50 and price broken out below the trend line, you can trigger a sell. So I'm bearish on GBP CHF. Now we go to a sensitive one this week, and that is gold. Now I'm very careful on gold on this one, but then we have to analyze it. Now, gold on the weekly time frame also closed as a rejection candle last week. Not only that, I can see that we have a trend line here, which you can draw, an uptrend, which is touching price at different levels, which also could lead to a bearish breakout. Now, take notes. Our dollar index is bearish. Can gold be bearish when dollar index is bearish? Technically, it's not supposed to be so. You understand? So that's why I said we're going to trade. We're looking at gold now with a lot of caution. Definitely one of them will sell, one will buy. And I believe one may sell on the short term while the other may sell on the long term. That's the only reason. If both of them are in the same direction, it could happen on different time frames, not on the same time frame. You understand? So going down to daily time frame, I remember telling us last week, Friday, that for gold, I really hold a bearish outlook, and we've seen the downtrend on the trend line on the weekly, and the rejection candle on the weekly, and on the daily, we still have that rejection very valid on the daily time frame, right on a resistance level. So a lot of things there is just pointing out to a kind of a sell on gold, but I believe that sell is actually not now yet, because gold is to form a head and a shoulder pattern. So price might still go back up. So the time price is forming the second shoulder on gold can be the time when the dollar index is going to sell. So while gold is rising, dollar index will sell. So that's why I say one will go on a short term, the other may be on a long term. So I still expect some bullish movement on gold before the final fall. Will it fall finally this week? Honestly, I really don't know. We just need to wait and see how the market reacts. But I believe gold will go up first. All right, thank you for this view, Big Win. Let me read what Big Win is saying. Gold should be bullish based on recent news on the Russia and Ukraine war. Aid France is sending more troops and other stuff. Thank you. This is a beautiful fundamental analysis. Thanks for that. For those who are in Lagos, we had a weekend, we had a seminar over the weekend, and I was explaining this, that whenever there is war, gold always goes bullish because investors pull off their assets from other financial, investments and dump everything into gold. So gold will go bullish. So like Big One really said, I'll do my research more, but from this little right up here. If there's an ongoing war, then gold may likely go bullish, So we expect some bullish movements on, but then I still see the formation of a head and shoulder pattern, eventually. But then that slight bullish movement, the dollar index could fall from there, and later on gold may experience its own bearish breakout. So let's still keep gold, close to the heart. So for those who are gold traders, please, I do believe it's not a time to sell yet. I believe price may drop to the neckline right here and make its way up before we start looking at a bearish opportunity. So let's take note of that for those who are gold traders. So that's the second swing trade setup there. I've given GBP CHF, I've given gold, and I think there are about 3 other ones. Oh, I think I omitted one. GBP card. GBP card is I omitted this on the intraday. I think I have about 6 intraday here. Let me just quickly take this. All right, thank you for this big win. I believe you copied this from the site. Can you just give us the link if you have it? Or just type the name of the site there so that you can just do a checkup later. I appreciate that. All right, so GBP card is another intraday setup I'm looking at today. On the daily time frame, we have an uptrend. You can see that it's just easy to find this, trend line, and we expect price to bounce in the direction. We say in Forex trading that the trend is your friend. So all we're doing by looking at uptrend here and there and downtrend is we're trying to trade along with the trend. So price, is trading on the trend line, and last week Friday closed as a rejection candle. So technically, we expect a bullish movement on GBP card today. And if you go down to the 1 hour time frame, I'm seeing the formation of an inverse head and shoulder pattern. So you wait for price to break above the neckline. Let me draw a proper line there. That's not looking tidy. So we have the neckline somewhere around here. But it's looking as if the current candle is bearish. Well, markets, today is Monday, so it means there's no, we don't have much volatility. But then once volatility enters the market, I expect price to break that level up into a buy. So I hold a bullish outlook on GBP card. Okay. There's a final one. My final analysis will be on US oil. So I'm just holding on that. I've done gold. I've done CHF, JPY, GBP card. Okay, I have Euro CHF and Euro New Zealand, then crude oil. All right. So let me look at Euro CHF, Euro New Zealand. All right. Euro New Zealand first. It's an intraday set. Okay, we've done Euro New Zealand. Okay. So it's Euro CHF that is the next one. So Euro CHF. Now let's look at Euro CHF. Now for Euro CHF on the weekly time frame, this is a swing setup. We have a key level right here. A key level is a level where price, has hit multiple times, either as a support in this case, and price broke the support level. The support became a resistance here, a resistance, and finally price still hit that level as a resistance last week, and we had a slight rejection there. So technically, we should look for bearish movements, on this instrument this week. So if you flip down to the 4-hour time frame, this is what we have. Now, this pattern is quite close to what we have on the GBP CHF. So that tells us that it looks a lot as if the CHF itself is very strong this week. And if we check the CHF JPY is actually going bullish. CHF JPY is bullish, while the GBP CHF and Euro CHF are going bearish. Now I can draw a second line at the back, only it's not going to look, it's still a rising wedge. The price, the line will be touching the other, upper part of this, pattern here. So we still can call it a rising wedge. Now, currently RSI is above 50. I expect price to do a pattern that looks close to a head and shoulder, then a drop. And like I always say, even if that doesn't work out as planned, ultimately what I expect is a breakout, in the bearish direction. And at entry, RSI should be below 50. So we are bearish again on Euro CHF. And I think that's all for my analysis, except the last one, which is on crude oil. Now, for this crude oil trade, if you're a swing trader, don't sleep on this one this week. This could just be the trade that will make you all the money you need for the week. It's a very sweet setup. I love high probability trades. Let me call it that one. This is one of the high probability trades that is happening this week. So now for crude oil, on the weekly time frame, you can clearly see that the last week candle closed as a rejection candle. I've actually done a special video for this, which I will also upload on my YouTube and my LinkedIn page. So if you happen to be on any of those two channels, you can always watch it again. And this video also is being streamed live on YouTube, so you can have access to it even after this class. So crude oil, which is, you can call it US or USD, that's the name on our platform. So if you're looking for it, it's US or USD. Or you can call it US oil, still the same. Now, it closed last week as a doji. And that tells us that with a doji, it's a possibility that price could break out downwards. That's one. Secondly, is that we have a support turned resistance. A support, price hit a support level, support turned resistance, so we expect a bearish movement. Second reason why we're looking for a sell on crude oil. And third reason why I believe this instrument will sell this week is that, still back to the trend line strategy, price is hitting on the trend line, 3 consecutive times. I told you earlier this morning about the 1, 2, 3 rule. 1, 2, 3. And don't forget, this third time is a confluence. A confluence of many parts. 1 is a doji, 2 is a support turned resistance. So, and that place is the time when, price touched the trend line the third time. So here we are expecting a breakout downwards in the bearish direction. Except there's anything that changes the market, I really don't see this. This is going to be a sell. Let me just put that word. Let me put it out that way. So on the weekly time frame, we have a bearish outlook. On the 4-hour, we have a head and shoulder, which is expected to break out downwards. Now, the final caveat I will give this setup is this. I equally, not just the neckline this time around, I expect price to break this this resistance zone, turn support right here. Sorry, I've mixed up all the lines. There is a resistance zone here, turned, the price broke and it became a support. So I'm expecting price to break this zone, for a proper bearish breakout, to happen on this instrument. So, okay, I should do a video. Okay, I think this time around, I will not forget. Somebody asked me to do a video on swing trading. Notes, let me get my notepad out and take note of these 2 videos so that I will be able to do them hopefully this week, all things being equal. If I worst case scenario, I think this weekend is Easter. So later is this weekend too, I'll surely be able to do it. Somebody said I should do a video on swing trading and multi-time frame analysis. Okay, time frame analysis. All right, they are noted. So I'm expecting a bearish breakout on crude oil this week. And I tell you, if you have access to the group where I will drop the outlook, the take profit levels are there. This is expected to hit up to about 300 pips, when the price will eventually hit Fibonacci. To Fibonacci 100, if it gets to Fibonacci 100, because entry should be around Fibonacci 50, and that should be about 83 pips. Fibonacci 78.6 should give about 193 pips, and to Fibonacci 100 to about 300 pips. Combined altogether, definitely I don't expect you to place 3 trades. Please take note. Don't do more than 1 or 2, but then price could just be volatile, and this could give you just about 200 pips, even if it's Fibonacci 61.8 and 78.2. I mean 78.6 that you are able to catch. But please take note, a word of caution, these instruments are very volatile. So trade with caution and practice risk management. I've also done a video on position sizing, which should tell you the lot size you should use per trade. I will upload that today. Always make sure you use the right lot size for your account. That's one of the best ways to stay safe in this business. All right, so that's all with my own analysis. Then now I will attend to those who have dropped requests. I will look.
Good morning, sir.
Your morning, sir.
Sorry to interrupt. I don't know if you made at some point I got engaged with something. I don't know if you made analysis on Euro USD, because I was asking if I should still hold the buy on Euro USD because I'm on profit. And
I'm listening. You say, and like I
if I should still hold the buy on Euro USD because I'm on profit.
I will advise you put a stop loss in place.
Okay.
For the dollar, it's bearish. Yeah, so if the dollar is bearish, Euro USD could be bullish. But at times it's not safe. You're buying Euro USD, you're selling USD JPY. You could just have taken one out of the two because it still looks as if they're trying to edge. So if one of them goes bad, the other goes bad. So it's better to just stick with one.
All right. All right.
So just make sure you put a stop loss in place if you're already in profit. You can move your you can trailing stop, lock in profits. Maybe you move your stop loss to entry, or to just make sure that you've locked in some few pips already, so that in case there's a reversal, at least you either close at 0 or maybe some 5-10 pips profit. So something like that. Just put that in place.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, somebody is asking Temitope, which of these can we take during London session? The one that breaks out, any one of you that breaks out, the ones that are the intraday setup that I mentioned. If it breaks out during London session, you take it. If it breaks out anytime it breaks out during New York session, you take it. Any one of it as it breaks out. They are not really dependent on sessions like that. So just you need to just check them and see when they are breaking out so that you can trade them. All right, Liz is asking about AUD card. So let's quickly look at AUD card. Now for AUD card, I actually hold a bullish outlook, at least with what I'm seeing at the moment. Though how this instrument will really move this week, I don't know yet. But from what I'm seeing, I think I was telling somebody last week that I was holding a long-term bearish outlook, because I'm seeing this as a head and a shoulder which should break out. But then currently price is still above a support zone. We have a support zone here. If price breaks out below the support zone, yes, it's a sell. The head and shoulder, will trigger and we have a sell. Now, don't forget where the head and shoulder is coming from. It's from a downtrend on the daily time frame, but that spans into the weekly time frame. We have a downtrend. So technically, it's a long-term bearish outlook. But it will also go bullish because this pattern here also makes it look a lot as if we are having a double bottom pattern. But then the bullish outlook will only work when price breaks above the neckline up there. So it's either price breaks up above for a buy or price breaks below this support zone for a sell. So currently price is neither at the breakout point for the bullish, neither is it at the breakout point for the bearish. So this instrument, I will advise you just watch it. If this looks a lot like a double bottom, which could lead to a bullish breakout, and this looks a lot like a head and shoulder, which could lead to a bearish breakout. But then, like I said, at the moment we are now, you can't take a trade until either there's a breakout downwards or a breakout above the neckline, upwards. So for the person asking, that's the analysis on AUD CAD. What time in Nigeria is London session and New York session? 8 a.m. is Nigerian time for London session, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. is the Nigerian time for New York session. So that's for Chima. I hope I've answered the question.
So I also asked for what's your take on Euro USD, because it has been selling for some time now. Do you think it's going to buy today?
I think I've already given my outlook. I said the dollar is bearish, so Euro USD may be bullish. I'll use the word may because I'm not sure I saw a direct pattern on it. If I'd seen that, I would have given a full analysis. So then if you look at it this way, okay, we still have a support. We have price hit a support level on the daily. This is a support. Last Friday closed on that support. So there could be a bullish movement. Now take note that today is Monday. Market may not be that bullish on Mondays, except there's a fundamental release, and if you don't have that, we may not really experience much volatility. But then we also trade what we see on the daily time frame. Price hit a support on a 1 hour. What we are seeing is looking like the formation of an inverse head and shoulder, just like we have the same on the AUD/USD. If you check the AUD/USD, we have similar, pattern on AUD/USD. So there could be some bullish movement on Euro USD from the technicals that I'm seeing. So if you're already on the buy on the Euro USD, you can hold it. Just make sure you have your stop loss in place, because the dollar index is expected to go bearish, and that means that Euro USD, AUD/USD could go bullish. So, and the neckline, the neckline for the head and shoulder is here. So once price breaks out above this current level, then you can trigger. For those who are yet to trigger, you can take a buy trade on Euro USD. All right, so let's make some progress. Time is really going fast. Okay, Akim is asking, which is actual and forecast between fundamental and technical analysis? It confuses me sometimes. All right, there's no need for the confusion. Just head to my channel, Learn Forex with Rotimi Olawale. There's a recorded video on how to trade fundamental analysis there. So you can have your time, just watch the video. Learn Forex with Rotimi Olawale. Please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you can receive, so that whenever I drop a new video, you can receive updates. But then just search for the video fundamental trading strategy, Forex fundamental trading strategies also. The flyer on that video is orange. My picture is there. Just watch it. Everything, and that's for anybody that wants to learn fundamental trading, including all the fundamental trading strategies. Everything is in that video. Just watch it. It's a lot explanatory. Madam Onaji, US or USD trade on intraday too? Yes, it trades on intraday, but the setup for now is a swing. So if you are not a swing trader, trade with caution, except you want to trade it on intraday, but then trade with a lot of caution because it can be volatile.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So what next? Euro USD, have attended to that. NASDAQ and US 500, Mr. Shola. Okay, I'll check that also. So let's quickly check on NASDAQ and US 500. Now for NASDAQ, that's NAS 100. Price actually hit a resistance level last Thursday, closing with a rejection candle. And Friday, even up till now, the market is experiencing a kind of a range. But then that's on the daily time frame. We'll flip down to 1 hour. And I think I analyzed this instrument last week, and I had a bearish outlook. And I think I still hold a similar outlook. So I can draw a trend line right here. And price currently has broken the neckline, sorry, the trend line. but then I still expect price to break through this minor support for a final, more bearish movement. So if you want to trade this, wait for price to break that support with your RSI below 50. Okay, RSI is already currently below 50, so that's a good one. But wait for that minor support level to be broken before you trigger a sell. So we are bearish on NAS 100. So let's wait for price to break through, that particular support zone. Because if you don't wait, price may if you just enter a sell now saying that actually it has broken the trend line, no, price may go up here to form a double for that breakout below that support level before you trigger a sell. And let's check the other one. The S&P 500. Okay, the platform is taking its time to load this. All right, it's loaded now. Okay. Now there's no resistance in view on this one. Like I've been saying many times that this instrument sometimes these days, they happen to be fundamentally driven, and it looks like they're on an uptrend. All right, so I can see we have a rising wedge pattern. Now this on 4-hour time frame. Let's flip down to 1 hour. Okay, price is still far away from the resistance. Okay, what I think will happen, is that we may end up with what looks like a double top pattern before we have a breakout downwards. And one of the reasons for that is this. Currently, we'll switch down again to 15 minutes time frame. We'll see that price is actually, we are seeing a downtrend here. This looks a lot like a falling wedge and can lead to a bullish breakout, which can, in the big picture, form a double top, then a breakout. But then I would rather advise you wait for the pattern to fully form, especially on the 1 hour time frame, when you look at taking a sell. So what I'm saying is that I'm expecting a bull, then a breakout downwards. So we'll wait for that uptrend first, then we'll have a double top, and you enter at the break of the neckline, for a bearish breakout. It could take some patience for you to wait for price to do all that merry-go-round, but it's going to pay off at the end of the day. We equally have, I think we have a valid trend line here to still make it as a confluence. So wait for a breakout finally here after an initial uptrend. So I'm bearish on S&P 500. All right, so that's for Mr. Shola. And Mr. Barra said I should repeat the time, those sessions. In London, Tokyo session starts from 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. time. Please let's mute our device. Someone's device is making noise. Tokyo session starts from 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. London session starts from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And New York session starts from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'll tell that again. Tokyo session starts from 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. London session 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. New York session 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. So Mr. Barra, that's for you. GBP JPY. Okay, I think that should be the last one. And DJ30. All right. So those should be the last set I'll do. This is DJ30, then GBP JPY. Now, DJ30. What I perceive may happen to DJ30, because you can see it's on trying to sell on the daily. We have a rejection, we have a resistance level here that could turn to support, which could lead to a bullish breakout. So we can zoom down, that's 4-hour time frame. We can zoom down to the 1 hour. So if price drops to this level, it may drop, then from there we expect a bullish breakout. So you may draw a trend line, right here to trade it as it goes back into the bullish direction. So I hold a bullish outlook on DJ30. So finally, I look at GBP JPY. Now, for GBP JPY, the candle that closed last week was a very sharp rejection candle on the weekly time frame, and that's very significant because it could indicate a very strong bearish movement. Also, that happened to now be a resistance level right on the weekly time frame. You can see it over there. It's actually a resistance level. So if you flip down to the daily time frame, this is what we have, and finally to 4-hour. Now, this instrument may continue a further bearish movement this week, but you have to draw a trend line here. Before it sells, there could be a possibility of price going up to hit that other resistance there before breaking out downwards. You can see that RSI is clearly below 50 and MACD is clearly below 0. So it's actually getting ready for a sell. But like I said, there might be some slight bullish movements. Whenever price breaks this trend line below, we can trigger a sell on GVJPY. And please take note, it's a swing trade, not an intraday. And GVJPY can be volatile. So please trade with a lot of caution. All right, so that will be all for this morning. Please trade safe, practice risk management. I will advise you watch this video over and over again so that you can get that's on my YouTube channel, Learn Forex with Rotimi Olawale, so they can get, a better understanding of all this setup I've given. And trade safe and have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
You too, ma'am.